You watch their games, but we don't have time because you guys talk too much.
Okay, so if nobody else is starting but Dak, then what are we?
I'm sorry, I hadn't been on TV in a while. I don't mean to take over nothing.
The day that we've all been waiting for, at least one of the dates we've all been waiting for those of us that have been following this saga, officially came and went. Skip Bayless's first Undisputed show without Shannon Sharpe officially went live. And it was an unmitigated disaster. So we're gonna break it all down, man. Before we get to the content, we're still giving away Madden codes on my Instagram story and on my Snapchat. All you have to do to enter is follow me there. And now that we get all that out of the way, work! This is pretty much free money. We only need to correctly pick 2 squares to 3x our money on Prize Picks. And to celebrate the NFL season kicking off, Prize Picks is giving us a free square. All Dak Prescott needs is 1 passing yard in order to fulfill his square. So you combine that with Travis Kelce, who only needs 1 receiving touchdown, and in my opinion, this is a guaranteed win in our books. I don't care if you're the biggest Cowboy hater on earth, Dak Prescott will get 1 passing yard. And we all know Travis Kelce is definitely going to get 1 receiving touchdown. And if you haven't signed up for Prize Picks yet, you could match your initial deposit by using my promo code microphone when you sign up. That's promo code microphone when you sign up for Prize Picks, or just click on the link in the description down below. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? A little bit over 2 months ago, Shannon Sharpe put Skip Bayless in a very tough situation, abruptly agreeing to a buyout with Fox Sports 1 and officially giving his 2 weeks notice, or for whenever the NBA Finals concluded. Upon the conclusion of the NBA Finals, Skip Bayless was on his own. He had no time to find a brand new partner. Of course, they teased brand new partners at first, people like LaShawn McCoy, which garnered a negative reception from most of the public, including from individuals like myself, was the first person to be teased. And as Shannon Sharpe was slowly teasing his return, Skip Bayless was cycling through potential candidate after potential candidate, asking for people like Charles Barkley before requesting Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman liked the idea because, to be honest, I think this could be the move that catapults Richard Sherman's career. But the thing about Richard Sherman is he only agreed to do about 100 shows with Skip Bayless. Bear in mind, at least my personal theory as to why Shannon Sharpe left to begin with was because he felt overworked. He had to wake up Monday through Friday at like 4 in the morning, do his morning routine, drive all the way to Fox Studios, grab a cup of coffee, and debate with Skip Bayless for the entirety of Undisputed. That's very tasking to do, especially when you have other interests. Shannon Sharpe engages in bodybuilding. I would know because we actually saw him on Saturday. My brother actually had the courage to congratulate him on his brand new move. And Shannon Sharpe said to him, and I quote,
"Thanks, bruh."
My brother would tell him, "Have a great day." And Shannon Sharpe would respond by saying,
"Now you do the same."
Yes, I know, breaking news. Nationally known sports analysts. They're just like us. Who would have thought? But on top of Shannon Sharpe's bodybuilding pursuits, what he does on day-to-day sports shows, and his own online podcast, Club Shay Shay, obviously, as he's getting older, he was feeling a little bit burnt out, and I feel like that's why he inevitably left. Shannon Sharpe would announce that he is joining The Volume in this clip.
Do you have good news for me? You're smiling.
I have great news for you. We're in business together, bro. I've decided to bring Club Shay Shay over and partner with you. When we first started, you said, hey, give me an opportunity, hear what everybody else has to say. And I listened to everybody, but I felt The Volume was the best place for me.
And in order to keep up nationally televised sports show appearances, he would appear on First Take twice a week. But what about Skip Bayless? Well, Skip Bayless decided that he wasn't only going to bring on Richard Sherman for 100 shows a year, he was also going to bring on Lil Wayne to debate him about sports each and every Friday, which, by the way, Lil Wayne made a brand new intro for Undisputed that I think is significantly better. I might be biased. I'll post it onto my X account, Twitter account, at Microphone NFL, because, well, we can't post it here for copyright reasons, but I think it's significantly better. A link to that's in the description down below. But as time would go on, Skip Bayless would announce additional partners, most recently agreeing to a deal to bring on Keyshawn Johnson the moment Keyshawn Johnson agreed to a buyout with ESPN, and Michael Irvin. Now, this is a great cast, in my opinion, and I said in my last video, considering the situation that Skip Bayless was placed in, this is a remarkable cast. Yes, it's a little bit heavy on the football side, although he is bringing in Rachel Nichols. I guess Rachel Nichols Bayless is going to have more of a presence on the show as a result of that. I'm sure that if Shannon Sharpe was able to figure out how to debate with Skip Bayless about basketball, well, no, not really about basketball, about LeBron James each and every day, it shouldn't take Richard Sherman, Keyshawn Johnson, and Michael Irvin very long to do the same. But all in all, I felt like this was a great opportunity for Michael Irvin to become an even bigger superstar than he was on First Take, because I personally believe that Michael Irvin and Skip Bayless could hold it down, just them two. I felt like any of the individuals that Skip Bayless brought on was good enough for a one-on-one debate. Now, that's the key term here. They're good for one-on-one debates. That's not how the show went. The very first episode was introduced very similarly to how Skip Bayless introduced Shannon Sharpe in 2016. Grab a box of tissues if you guys aren't ready for this reminder. Skip would introduce Shannon this way in 2016.
Thank Shannon Sharpe for joining me here on Undisputed. Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champion, the greatest trash talker in NFL history. Good luck to you, my friend.
And he would introduce his new show very similarly, praising his brand new co-hosts.
Introduce my dream team. Super Bowl champion with the Seattle Seahawks, most famous member of the all-time great Legion of Boom. He won a Super Bowl with the Bucs in spite of John Gruden. As I've said many times, I believe this man was the greatest receiver ever.
And then eventually the show would begin and we would get our first signature Michael Irvin moment, which is something that I'll never get sick of. Maybe I'm a little biased because I do have a Michael Irvin signed jersey in my office that you can't really see. But I just love the energy that Michael Irvin brings.
How you gonna tell me that's the worst advice? I'm only one of the best to ever do it at playing that game. What I'm saying.
And we even got some gems. I mean, you really got to see each and every personality do what they were known for. Richard Sherman even showed us some of his signature smack talk when he trash talked the playmaker for the way he used to receive the football back when he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
That's advice I've ever heard for a receiver. Don't catch it with your hands, catch it with your body. When you talk about 12 interceptions.
So we got some great moments, particularly between Sherman and Irvin. But there's a huge problem throughout this entire episode. It was glaring to everybody that was witnessing this episode, and it was a very ironic one to say the least. Do you remember back in January, when Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe didn't necessarily see eye to eye with one another following the Damar Hamlin incident? I'm sure at this point you guys have seen this clip 100 times, but I'm only gonna show you one small part of it, and it was during Shannon Sharpe's opening monologue when he was apologizing for the fact that he missed the show after Skip Bayless tweet about Damar Hamlin.
Anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So they struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down.
And then Skip Bayless did this.
I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Shannon Sharpe would get frustrated and even call out Skip Bayless for the fact that he can't get through an opening monologue without Skip interrupting him.
Not get into your tweet. That's what I was gonna do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
And well, the very first episode featured a lot of that. You would see over and over again Skip Bayless attempting to speak, but not being able to speak.
If Dak was to get injured, he's been injured in the past.
And if Trey gets his shot,
and if he continues, if nobody else was starting but Dak, then what are we?
I'm sorry, I hadn't been on TV in a while. I don't mean to take over nothing.
And this is really interesting considering the fact that this was going down during a topic that Skip Bayless probably had a lot to talk about. Trey Lance getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, man, I told you guys in that video, the moment that happened, my jaw dropped. I left the gym mid-workout, sprinted home, sweaty as hell to record that video for you guys. I had to do retake after retake after retake because the videos were getting really freaking long. I had so much to say about the Trey Lance trade, and I was really excited about it. So Skip, being a Dallas Cowboy fan, probably had a lot to talk about for the Trey Lance trade, but ironically, he would consistently get cut off by his new co-hosts. And this is where you could say the show was officially a disaster. Because just like we would see with Shannon Sharpe almost a year ago,
You gonna let me talk? Because that's what you do.
If you'll stay on point on questions.
You never stay on point.
Okay, I'm about to stay on point.
Skip Bayless would hint how his co-hosts talk way too much. Watch.
Well, you watch their games, but we don't have time because you guys talk too much. I did. Yes, you talk too much.
So this is leading to a lot of people calling Skip Bayless the moderator of his own show, and clearly the show's format being an unmitigated disaster. Here's the thing. I didn't think that Undisputed was going to be like this, and I don't think it's going to be like this moving forward. I feel like they tried this format in the very beginning for the first episode, and it looks like they didn't rehearse with one another at all whatsoever. You can tell that Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson are just used to yelling and trying to speak over each other, because I feel like that's what ESPN would tell them to do. And you can tell Skip Bayless is very uncomfortable and unsettled in this environment. So it didn't get off to as good of a start as the Shannon Sharp era did with Skip Bayless in 2016. So what do I think the answer is here? Well, the answer is really simple. You can't have all four sitting at a table at once. It's gonna have to be a rotation, and you're gonna have to figure out when is appropriate to bring who onto the show. I feel like Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin were added on way too late for them to even have an opportunity to discuss strategy with Skip Bayless. And I feel like in order for this to work out, you really gotta feature each and every one of these individuals one-on-one or maybe one-on-two, and eventually work to the point where all four of them are sitting down and discussing with one another. Because this was just chaotic. They were just yelling over each other. There's also this clip from Stephen A. Smith's podcast where he says that he's not intimidated of the competition at all whatsoever.
I don't give a shit about competition. I live for it. And as far as I'm concerned, let's get it on.
And following this debut episode, I can't really blame him. Do I think this is the end of Undisputed? No, I feel like they just got off to a really shaky start. They didn't catch lightning in a bottle like they did in 2016. It might take some time to build up to that point. Hell, maybe some of these people could get cut. But at the end of the day, bear in mind, Skip Bayless didn't have a lot of time to find a brand new partner, and he did something that I didn't expect. I think all of these guys are incredible personalities. I think Michael Irvin brings great energy. I think Richard Sherman is well-spoken, witty, and comical. I'm kind of meh about Keyshawn Johnson personally, but I appreciated what he did during his time in the NFL and respect his achievements. So we'll have to wait and see what they decide to do moving forward with Undisputed. Let me know what you think the solution is. Do you think Undisputed will ever be the same again? Are you even going to tune in to watch the next episode? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.